Hello, friends. Can't get over the shocking semi-finals today. I'm sure every Indian fan would have had this disappointment written all over their faces after India had lost pretty badly. I think it was a humiliating defeat under the hands of, as Ravi Shastri rightly put forward, it was a hammering by England to India and in a crucial semi-final match, and we are again out of the T20 World Cup tournament. Uh, so I actually I'll come to Shayantan straight away. Uh, we had discussed this in the initial build-up of this tournament that the squad is actually not a very good squad, and there are a lot of improvement areas for this particular team to look into it. Having said that, the team reached the semi-finals, but what happened today?
Gopal, and then you'll probably see a little bit of an animated me and an animated Devankur, you being the nice, cool guy. You said shocking defeat. I'm sure the result is not shocking. Probably the way it came is shocking that you lost by 10 wickets. But you look at our entire run, and I had multiple arguments with a lot of friends that I'm supporting other teams and Pakistan and so on. Look at the results throughout this tournament. You won against Pakistan by this much. A one run here and there, and you are out of the tournament on day one. You won against Bangladesh, where Bangladesh was one hit away in a small Adelaide ground, right? On a five, right? So you basically won against Zimbabwe, and that only just because of a couple of guys playing brilliant cricket throughout the series, right? So this is not a shocking result, right? When I said the other day it's 51-49, probably, it's the Indian who said out of me. But it is not a shocking result. With average team, with average quality of thinking, and see, we are not cricket pundits. The guys who are sitting at the helm knows lot more than us. They probably feel the pain a lot more than us. But with average mindset that people can see through, how can you win big events like this? And I'm okay for loss. I am okay for a batsman or a bowler to have an off day. I think all of us are okay with that. But we can see the entire process being wrong with all the infrastructure, all the money, the world's biggest T20 league, right? You protecting your players, which means you should have more fitter players and all. How come year after year you'll not get results? Your team's
I was I
selection is wrong,
was
your squad is wrong. So this is the result. I'm
I
not surprised.
was I was actually in another group, Shantan, exactly the point that I was actually trying to make there. That India actually, if you look at it, I think the last ICC championship that India had probably won was in 2013, which was a Champions Trophy. I think post that we have not won any major ICC events. But if you look at it, 2016 again Indian semi-finals, if you remember, in Wankhede, we scored. We batted brilliantly. We scored 190. We had West Indies on the mat, and then I mean they blew away. So it was a placid wicket, and then I mean the competition was there. Similarly, if you go back to 2019 Cricket World Cup, I mean we were in the game. We lost a few wickets, came back, almost wasn't touch and go before the run out of Dhoni, and then I mean we lost the match. But today, I mean, yes, you are absolutely right. I was not shocked at the result, but I was shocked as the way that I mean we actually we're not even in the game. And I'm going to go to Debankur. I know he has his point of view. Debankur, I know your disappointment on the way the India played. I mean, we all are disappointed here, and not much to speak about it. But what do you say about Rohit's press conference? Was it only the bowler's responsibilities of because of which we lost the match today, or our batsmen were not at par even today?
I'm not disappointed. I'm frustrated with this team because the way they carry themselves on the field, the way even after losses, they are so stubborn. They are so hot-headed, saying that it's just another experiment. What are they experimenting for? Are they experimenting for the next New Zealand bilateral series? They want to make up a team for that. I don't understand. I mean, Rohit Sharma has been woefully out of form. He never accepts. I mean, he has not performed in any of the IPLs also, which is our yardstick of measurement of how successful and an Indian international T20 player needs to be. He has not performed in T20 matches. He's not performed in the IPL, and the level of attitude that he carries, the level of what to say. I mean, the way he comes out in the press conference and tries to uh, give reason or justify whatever has been happening, whatever policies that has been happening is shocking. I mean, it is unacceptable for an Indian fan. I mean, you need to be humble by defeat, and that's one quality that Dhoni and Kohli had. This Indian management is too stubborn for my liking. They don't change their terms, they don't change their ways. They are seeing that this process is not working, but they're still sticking onto it. I don't understand how Bhuvi is a good T20 bowler. I don't understand why Ashwin and Akshar Patel was being persisted with, and you have taken Chahal there just for a passenger. I don't understand why Bishnoi, after being played a very important match where he played so well, he was dropped right away from the tournament, saying that he has only been given an opportunity. And when this guy Bumrah and Deepak Chahar gets fit, they are brought into the team directly, only to be fucked up again in the next match. So I don't understand what kind of a thought process these guys had been carrying, and I'm not disappointed at all. I'm frustrated with this team. I have nothing else to say about this team. They think that ऐसे बोलता है ना कि बाप का टीम है जैसे चलाएंगे जैसे मर्जी वैसे चलाएंगे. That is how this team is working. Not only Rohit was, I don't think so. He knows English well, so he does not know how to communicate. You need to have an orator like a Dhoni or a Kohli or a Saurav Ganguly to be talking in press conferences. He does not know how to, express his viewpoints, and so he was very blunt in saying that the bowlers did not do it. What the fuck has he been doing right through the tournament? Has he scored a single, 20 or 25 of 10 or 15 balls and taken the pressure of the next batsman? No. So he can't take the responsibility himself. He knows how to push it onto the others, and then walk off saying that this is just a process. We are preparing for the next World Cup. Have you seen what Rahul Dravid said? He said it's just a blip in the process.
Yeah.
So if that is the attitude that you're going to take ahead, you look at England. They just fucked you. They fucked you royally. I mean, you've been fucked up in your ass. You've been fucked up whatever holes that you have. All the 11 players standing on the field got fucked up by these two English batsmen. And what do you have in return? Okay, that's just a process. That's what we are building a team for the next round.
And Devanko, you see, the problem is, had it been a blip where you feel, wow, you have been playing, we felt that in 2019 World Cup, right? We were the champions. We were playing like champions. One bad day and we are gone. The problem is it was a knockout match. Had it been that, we all would have understood that, one bad day and all. But you have not played like champions, right, in the ICC tournaments. And my problem is you had everything at your, at your platter to get prepared. Enough number of players, enough number of T20 games. You had subcontinent, England, Australia, whichever place you wanted to. You had all those practice. So there is no excuse for anything. Just a couple of points. You just imagine an important series like South Africa when they came to us. Your captain of the match, team is Pant, and then he doesn't find a place in the team. And then you played and persisted with DK all the last 12 months saying he's a finisher, and then you don't take. I mean, I'm not in support of playing DK, but which means you have no conviction in any plans that you have created, right? How do you drop Bishnoi after that performance? At what grounds, right? You pick Huda, he scores a century, he don't play him for again a few more matches. You opened with Pant on a couple of matches, he did reasonably well, you don't do anything. Just because KL Rahul comes back without any credibility, any runs, any match fitness or what, right? So there is definitely it's not a chink in the armor, it's not a small blip. There is definitely wrong in the entire process. It has failed again and again and again, year after year after year.
And stubbornness is so to see. I mean, they are not ready to accept that the fault is in themselves. See, 2021 in Dubai, we failed so badly. Attitude was given a fault, and then we said that the next 12 months we are going to play fearless cricket. Have we seen that brand of fearless cricket when Asia Cup came into picture? Have we seen that brand of cricket when we were playing World Cup? We only saw it against New Zealand. Zimbabwe. So I'm really.
But again in Zimbabwe, you take that innings out of innings of Sky out. You will, if you look at a lot of these players or probably the entire squad, they're playing to keep their place. And if I can say, probably not everyone is Virat Kohli who can make a comeback, right? So Virat plays as if, okay, if he fails, there is question on him. KL Rahul plays with the same thought. move them out, get new people who doesn't even think of these things, right? They don't have any big reputation, they don't come with that problem or that issue in their head, and they can play freely. Something that happened in the 2007 World Cup. I know, see, all of us having said this, I still think India is a lot better side, a commanding side in test and in T20, in one days wherever we go, because that's a longer version of the game. But T20 is the thing that everyone is focused. How many one days you will see going forward as well? People are retiring from one day, so you definitely need quick captaincy, great thinking on the spot, great skill set. During that, and the attitude to play the game the way we played today in the first 6 overs, the first 10 overs. The first 6 overs they played risk-free cricket. The first three boundaries of the first over were just good cricketing shots. We were not able to do that.
Uh, okay, I'll probably come back to Shantan again. I thought, I mean, if in the previous podcast episode, if you recollect, I think we were debating about Indian fast bowlers being the best bowlers in the tournament, who were able to actually swing the ball and consistently. But actually, there was no swing when today Bhuvi or Arshdeep were bowling. I think one ball or two balls probably would have swung. Otherwise, even Shami was not able to swing that ball. Any particular
Because it was a used pitch. They were playing on a dry, used pitch, right? It was hot, right? There were no overcasts that otherwise throughout the series it was there throughout the World Cup. It was a used pitch, and see, honestly, I'll not blame the bowlers even if we've lost by 10 wickets. You just don't have enough runs to even put the team on pressure. You don't have you know, bowlers who will pick up wickets in the middle overs. As Devankur said, why are you picking Akshar when you know you can only bowl him 2 overs and he's not effective? Okay, you have gotten into the squad, but there are others. Try with them. Why are you playing Ashwin when he's not giving you wickets for a long period of time? Why so stubborn? It's okay. That's why you have a squad. Your squad is not a 15, 16 member just to cover for injuries, also to for horses for courses, right? To see which ground, which dimension, how many left-handers, what is the strength, what is the condition like, and then you play your batters and bowlers as well. When every leg spinner, every wrist spinner is doing well in this tournament, why not play Chahal? He goes for runs. Leg spinners always goes for runs. He picks wickets for you. Why have you not tried him?
Divankur, on that piece, I mean, I'll probably ask you a question a bit different. Is that we Indians were actually called as great players of spin bowling, and we have seen people smacking spinners all over the park in Test matches in ODIs as well. But somehow, I mean, I got this feeling for the last 11 months or 12 months. I think we are actually been struggling against quality spin bowling in T20s especially. You struggle against Moeen Ali, you struggle against Shadab Khan, you struggle against Adil Rashid. So what exactly is happening in those areas? Of course, when there's a pace in the wicket, we are able to clear grounds. But and the moment the slow ballers come, even for that matter, I think there's a chat that happened today wherein England were praising Butler, who actually brought in Liam Livingston for 3 overs, and then I mean bowled him out for I think 2 or 3 overs in the middle without even realizing that the 3 overs were actually bowled it out, and we were not able to initiate any run. I mean, any runs in through those 3 overs. So what is happening on that piece?
See, I mean, one is we don't have innovative batsmen. Let's face it. I mean, apart from Sky, we don't see mostly our batsmen who can sweep the one. And so, for that very reason, you would see that when even Rashid was bowling, he was bowling so full, but he did not have cover on a square leg and a fine leg because we know that we are not going to sweep. He was keeping players on cover and extra cover for Hardik Pandya, who's only known to cover drive the ball or hit the ball harder. So Hardik Pandya doesn't sweep. Your Rohit Sharma sweeps, but he's woefully out of form. Sky got out before even he could do anything, and Kohli doesn't sweep also. Kohli is also the wrist player. I mean, he takes it from outside, tries to whip it through mid wicket, or uses wrist to open up and play inside-out shots to covers. So that's the reason why. And Kohli has known to have issues with leg spinners, and that's the reason why the wrist spinners are stacked against you, both Kohli as well as Rohit. Why the rest of the players are not performing, and Pant, of course, I mean, apart from test matches, I have not seen him get out or rather hit spinners, whosoever it is, a finger spinner, a leg spinner, or somebody's a wrist spinner. I have not seen him play those kind of swashbuckling innings in T20s, to be very frank. Karthik can still sweep, but he has not played. He only plays the 19th and 20th over, which is bowled by Pacers. So I definitely do not have an answer. I mean, I'll be only
So
preparing for
I'll
fast
just
bowlers.
try to give an answer, and maybe Devankur, tell me how many steady left-hand batsmen you had in during Dhoni's eras, who used to play in the middle over.
Yuvraj
Can you
Singh,
name few?
Suresh,
Dhoni's era.
Yeah,
Shikhar Dhawan.
Raina,
Raina and
Yuvraj,
Yuvraj,
Shikhar
right?
Raina,
No,
They are
Yuvraj,
definitely there. And then you
Raina,
have people like Gambhir
Jadeja.
Gambhir, Jadeja.
not maybe Jadeja, but Gambhir and Dhawan, who used to play those long innings and still play in the middle overs. To hit spinners, you need left-handers who will come in the middle overs, because be it left arm spin, be it leg spin, you don't see a lot of off spinners in the last 10 years. How many off spinners will you recall? So which means it is always the spin that is coming into the left-handed batsman, and it is important to have left-handers come what may you say, right? And we have not had that. The other problem that we have is, it's the overall mindset. If you look at today's match, you can almost count there were several bad balls that were bowled by both Adil Rashid and Livingstone. There were half trackers, there were full
Full
tosses, there were
tosses,
balls
this pass.
pitched right up to the batsman that could have hit through the covers or straight. They were just not in that frame of mind, or they were just awfully out of nick. I think Rohit Sharma played bulk of the balls as well. He got out when we were almost at the 10th over, right? So
Yes.
he was hopefully out of form. Even the boundaries he hit, you will see his bat was turning in his hand. Those were not silky touch shots that he was
Correct.
there.
And
So I
similarly,
think
when Akshar bowled shorter deliveries, he was hit for sixes. I mean, those two played
I'll
him brilliantly.
I'll I'll come back to that particular piece. Actually, I mean that's exactly the next question to both of you. Actually, we were. I mean, if you remember, in the last couple of episodes before, we all three of us were scared because Adelaide is a smaller boundaries on the sides, and England had those power hitters to smack our spinners over mid wicket or over covers for sixes, and that exactly happened. So even when, I mean, from a viewer's perspective, as you rightly said, Shantan, we knew that in that particular dimension you have to bowl the ball a bit fuller. You can't bowl a short length because they're going to smack you. But if you look at it, the bowling, especially Alex Hale's first five or six sixes, I think most of it, excepting I think one which was half volley, which he smacked over long off, most of it were half trackers. And why would you bowl that to
I will
when you
probably
know the ground dimension?
no, it were probably not half trackers. He actually played a lot inside the line to spinners and hit over square leg and fine
Correct,
leg
correct.
for six as well. So, what they were trying to do, even when Akshar bowled the fourth over, they were not trying to hit sixes. They were just trying to clear the field. And if that goes for a six, so be it. So you will see a lot of those sixes actually hitting the cushion pads, even in a
Yeah,
smaller boundary, right?
correct, correct.
So they really had good strategies. They know they have a huge batting lineup. And England is, and then that is why I like about this team is they actually come with a boxing mindset. They will just knock a punch and get you flatted in the first 3-4 overs itself, that you can't. You've seen the body language after the fourth fifth over, right? Already, where there were 50 runs and all, right?
50.
So
They were
it is
going at 10 per
not
over.
that. Yeah, and then, honestly, to be,
Every rather
if
there
there
was
is
this
no
over
swing,
state. Yeah,
see,
that
that's the other
rather
problem.
the
Sorry,
15th over
exactly.
was, yeah, the
Sorry.
15th over was the over which we actually didn't consider a single boundary. Up till
You
then,
will
every over had a boundary or a
and had
six.
a boundary or a six. And you see, this is the other problem with our bowling team is with the kind of pace we have. If you don't swing the ball, you will get hit, right? So you cannot bowl short. What will you do? You will bowl full in a ground like this. And if you bowl full, there is no swing. You'll get hit. You'll try to hit it with the length. The something that Hardik Pandya does as well. You'll try your cutters, and also all in all, not a match. But again, I'm not so focused in the match. It's the entire process which I feel has failed us. a lot of people are talking about Pakistan being extremely lucky playing the finals. I think if we would have won the match, we will be extremely lucky to have played in the finals, because if you look at it, it's only two people out of a team of 11 who has delivered.
Good. Uh, so I know. I mean, it's all over for 2022, and we have another now 2 years to come back to prepare ourselves for the next T20 World Cup.
Don't worry, we'll
So
have many bilaterals. We have bilateral shares.
we will, we will.
We'll
So
get
the
all the
Can I
bilaterals.
just tell you one more thing? Sorry, in the bilateral. Sorry, I'm probably taking most of your times
that's okay.
to speak. Just think of this, and then this is to Devanku. Just think of it. I was just thinking. Just few days ago, the New Zealand squad is announced, right? And right after today's match, Ajay Jadeja made a very valid point. He said, "आपका
Rohit is
T20
captain.
कैप्टन रहता कहाँ है आपके टीम के साथ? वो तो डिसाइड करता है ना कि वो कौन सा सीरीज खेलेगा." And a series like New Zealand, if he is the future T20 captain still, उसने तो डिसाइड कर लिया पहले ही कि मैं जाऊंगा ही नहीं, बट देख लो तुम लोग, तो वो where are you with the team throughout to understand their strengths and weaknesses, क्या करना चाहिए नहीं करना चाहिए, to the point even the coach is saying मैं जाऊंगा नहीं, कोई और जाए, right?
I
And
think
the other
Lakshman is the
point that he
coach.
made that is absolutely true is, in a team of 11 there is space for one buzurg, one older guy to be there to guide. There is not place for seven buzurg. You don't have space for seven. And he saying that it's not because India has lost. I'm saying this. I always said this before as well. We have too many people who feel
True,
that they're leaders. They decide when they'll come,
true,
when they'll go, and all. And it's just shocking.
true.
But
So,
I think
so in,
there'll be a change in the complete team right now.
and and
What
and
we have
and,
been
and, and,
discussing.
and exactly the point that I'm actually trying to ask you both, Dibankur and Shantan. And we were always debating, or not debating. We knew that you needed those extra. I mean, those kind of players, those multi-talented players, all rounders who could give you those extra 2-3 overs in the middle, and who were actually good batsmen like Yuvraj or the Rainas and other stuff. So having said that, and having now coming got what is it out of the tournament, and you have still 2 years to prepare yourself for T20s. What are the cosmic changes that you're looking at the entire squad of this 11 people? Whom are you thinking? Yes, they are going to be my people whom I can still say that they're going to play this 2024 tournament, or you're saying no? I think maybe another 1 or 2 months, and then I think they should be out. So I'll have to start looking at fresh people to groom them for the next tournament. What
I
are
think
your thoughts?
yeah, in the Indian team is such, and the players of Rohit and Kohli stature is such. With the past experiences of having Dhoni and Tendulkars and the Gangulis at the helm, these guys are not going to move out on their own. Kohli does not deserve to be thrown out. Kohli has been a good force. I mean, he has proved time and again that he's somebody who you need to take note of. And you need a Kohli kind of a player in a setup where new players are being brought in, because he is a guy who can guide them properly. With Surya Kumar Yadav giving testimony to the fact, and Hardik giving testimony to the fact that having Kohli there in the middle does help, in them to also understand what the match situations are. Like Dhoni was to Kohli and Rohit, Kohli can play the same role. Saying the same, I think, of course, I mean, IPL is the breeding ground, right? IPL is being touted as the breeding ground. IPL is being touted as the reason why India is faltering by the Pakistani greats. Wasim Akram has come out and said that since IPL, India ne kitne T20 World Cups jeete, which is correct.
It is
And
correct.
so
Yeah.
he's pointing fingers at IPL and trying to position PSL as to be the better. ये चलता रहेगा. This is a never-ending debate. I'm not going to get into that. But for us to form a team, IPL is the basic breeding ground from where we are, picking this young blood in. So we cannot experiment in international T20s anymore. You cannot give excuse of 2 years of experimenting and then having a half-cooked team, which has been happening since the last two World Cups, saying that we have been experimenting and this is the best 15 that we've got. You have to give that 15 a good run of the tournament, and as Shantan is pointing out, as Ajay Jadeja said, you need to have the proper core team with the team everywhere it is traveling. You need to create a plan A or a team A or a team B, have those team A, team B, and those quadrangle series that you used to play in Australia. You cannot have an England kind of a setup wherein you're playing one team in a particular country for tests, another team in particular country for ODIs, another team in particular country for T20s. India may have the bench strength, but you are seeing what's happening, right? It's only England who can carry that off. So enough of showing off. You need to be cognizant of what your basics are. You need to find out who your best 15 is, and that's the only where I think IPL and to some extent Syed Mushtaq Ali tournament gives you that leverage. And of course, the core of this team has to be Hardik going forward. He will stay. Bumrah will stay, and of course, Pant. I think Pant is being considered as the next guy to captain the Test team or something, so he'll stay, and Sky, of course. So these are the four guys who I think will be staying, and the rest of the team has to be built up, around them. That's what I feel.
Yeah, and I think probably 80% of it I agree with you, Devankur. And to again, I have not heard Wasim Akram. I'll probably see later at night. But if he has said so, he's so wrong. He's a great fast bowler, but IPL has been the backbone of all the budding cricketers that we have got. The likes of Pant, who's playing great in tests. The likes of Bumrah comes from IPL. Surya comes from IPL, and the list goes on and on and on. So IPL has been great both financially and getting us, great cricketers. I think even Kohli needs to be moved in a phased manner. So let's look at this. Why do we play a certain format of cricket? Because we want to win these bigger tournaments and the trophies, right? So if something is in the next couple of years, we'll have to really think each and every player where do they stand in those next couple of years. If there is no Rohit in the next couple of years in T20s, you don't need him in the next match itself, right? You will still need maybe a Virat Kohli because he's great. He's not being dropped if he's so, but he's thinking of the future so that he can extend his test runs and one day runs and all runs, period of play and run the runs per se run. But just go with new brand of people. If that means you've lost, you've lost. Secondly, I think the strategies are woefully wrong for India. So maybe Rahul Dravid is not fit for a T20 or a white ball approach because he has never been like that as a cricketer as well. I never liked his approach when he was a captain or even a player, right? So, and that will never change overnight. You probably need people who are more shrewd, who knows not only your strengths, the other team's strengths as well. Someone like an Owen Morgan, right? I don't know. I mean, if he comes and coaches and all, but think of coaches who can actually think beyond, who can take bold decisions. A Justin Langer, they'll never be liked in an Indian situation and all. Even a Ravi Shastri is of that caliber, right? I never liked him as a coach, but I think he brings a lot into that dressing room as well. You have huge pool of cricketer that they can invest. Trust me, if this was a young team and we would have lost, no one would have had any concerns. But these are players who play so much of cricket. They decide which series they will play. They are, obviously these days you don't say you're dropped, you're rested. The likes of KL Rahul and others, right? They're like rested, right? They don't deserve to be in the team, and you cannot, where you have trophies and tournaments coming in 6 months and a year, you cannot give chance after chance after chance. If you have not performed, thank you. There is others in the team. Please come and take yours.
Okay. Just moving now that we have the two finalists, England and Pakistan, and I believe someone had quoted that the Sunday match is going to be 152 for no loss versus 170 for no loss.
That's the Pakistan Prime Minister.
Yeah. So I didn't want to quote that.
But he's right. I don't understand what is there to hide. We would have done the same. He's right. You will have to live with this embarrassment for some time. Don't worry. The Daniel Alexander fucker is going to tell a little bit more of that.
True that. So how? I know the excitement is gone for Sunday. It would have been an extremely exciting affair if India would have played Pakistan, or had India gone into the finals. But given that India is out of the tournament and England and Pakistan are going to, so what are you looking up for that match in Melbourne? Shantan and Debang.
Just 10 seconds, Debang. I was in the fish market today in the morning, and there were those lovely loita and bangra. They were there. I was so tempted to buy them and clean them and dress them and marinate them so that I can deep fry them with some beer on Sunday. But the only reason I did not buy was I was not confident India is going to win. And it's not about whatever price, but if India is not winning, I would actually be in my cricket practice and not be watching the entire match. But I'm extremely glad that two most deserving teams, and I say this on record again, two most deserving teams are playing the finals. If India would have gone, it had they played a very good brand of cricket, that's a different thing, but otherwise not so deserving team. A lot of people will say Pakistan gone there by luck. They have gone by the rules of the book. By the rules of the book, there were chances, permutations, and combinations that we Indian fans did last year when our teams lost, and there were slight chances here and there. If if someone would have defeated some team and this and that, even in Asia Cup, Afghanistan, they have gone by the rule books. They have thrashed South Africa. They have thrashed Bangladesh. They have thrashed New Zealand. Right? So they are a solid bowling lineup. Their middle order is firing. Their opening players have played well against a team who has played well in the leagues, and they have thrashed a good team like India, so-called T20 good team like India, who bats till number 8, right? And what I like about England, as I mentioned, whatever happens, whichever condition, whatever opposition, they will play the same brand of cricket. And if they lose, so be it. They win, so be it. So it's going to be a cracking contest. I cannot wait to see Shaheen Shah Afridi against Hales and Butler. If the wicket falls, great. If he gets hit for 6, great. That's the other fun of watching a match as a neutral.
Neutral.
See, a part of me is unhappy because, of course, I would have loved India to see in the finals. But a part of me deep down knew probably we're not that good and England will beat us, right? So I think it's going to be a cracking final. Whoever wins it from there is no luck, bloody luck. They've earned it.
Devankur, Pakistan's bowling versus England's batting on Sunday.
I think matchup wise, both have got good bowling units. English bowling is right up there. I mean, we did not see any fast-paced bowling today. I mean, even Chris Jordan clocked up to 135 kilometers per hour, but they were using the pitch so well. They were using the slow delivery. Sam Curran was bowling that brilliantly, and they've got good spinners. Liam Livingston giving 3 overs. So I think it is. I would say like matchup between two good bowling units, with England having the edge with their batting because they bat till 11. And the never say die attitude, right? Everybody comes with bats fielding. Pakistanis are also saying taking the same scheme of things with Mohammad Haris, introduction of Mohammad Haris. Mohammad Haris also comes down, hits from ball 1. So it'll be a very good, evenly fought contest. If at all Babar Azam is back in form, he can continue that because Mohammad Rizwan, we know that he'll perform on a big final. He is known to do that. That small little pugnacious guy will come back. I'm a little thoughtful about Babar Azam. He might not, he could stagnate and put his team back into pressure again. So that's the only bit of competition that I'm looking at. And the final point is my thoughts go out to Rajiv Ramban, our friend.
And exactly the point that I'm going to make. I'm going to question it out. Who is going to which team is going to which Rajiv Ram going to support?
So just look at the irony. His friend was actually his Pakistani friend would have supported India. And just a week later, the Indian fan is now going to support probably Pakistan. I don't know what.
Yeah. So for the
which
people,
teams are you guys supporting?
Yeah, no, just the Rajiv Ram story. I mean, he should be watching it. I don't know whether he watches it or not. For the others who do not know the story, this guy bought the finals ticket thinking that India and Pakistan will play the finals. He just took it, by whims. He got the final tickets at Melbourne. He lives in Auckland, by the way. And come the finals, Pakistan went into it, and in the second semi-finals, we were expecting India to go through and give him a blockbuster final, but that did not happen. So this guy has to be in the field amongst maybe 92,000 other Pakistani and English fans. So that's a basic story. So to answer your question,
he can disguise wearing a green.
Yeah, but he does not look like a Pakistani, so that will give it away. So that could be an issue. But the point is, if you ask me who I support, I think Pakistan will pick England because of the momentum that they're going to go through, and England's never say die attitude could also prove a little bit fatal. So that's.
But even England got great momentum today. Yeah, no, but who are you supporting? You might think Pakistan will win. Who are you supporting?
I'm supporting the matchup. I'm supporting the game of cricket.
Who are you supporting?
I'm supporting
England.
England only. I'm supporting England, but then I also feel that it's going to be a repeat of the World Cup 1992, where probably
92. I have no conscience about what happened then because we did not watch every ball. But
We
yeah,
didn't.
matchup wise,
Not every ball, but I watched
Yeah,
the
I,
match.
I also watched later. I also watched later, but not in 92. I did not understand how Imran Khan is doing those tactics, what Ravizaza is batting as an opener. So I did not have those ideas. But this wise, team wise, England has a better team, so to say. So I might be a little inclined towards England, but England thrashing us gives me an opportunity of also thinking England should lose. So that's why what I'm thinking.
So quick check is Devankur, you're supporting England. Gopal, you're supporting England, and I'm supporting Argentina. By the way, okay, guys. So just trying to get over all the cricket. I'm
that's
supporting England as well. So the three
that's
England Lions are supporting
in
England.
that's in another next 1 week or so. We
But
will be
prediction wise, Pakistan will win.
Pakistan. I have a dare feeling that Pakistan will clean this out. I think they are.
I am supporting England, and I have a feeling that England will actually win.
Your
But
predictions are
really,
coming true.
really,
Last two
yeah,
matches, your
but
predictions
really,
are
see, because even I said it's going to be 165 runs today. They scored 168 or 169, right? But then I think what's going to happen is it's really going to be important on the toss. It's a big round. Both the teams would probably like to chase. I know it's a big final, but that's their strength, right? But 160 or 170 is Pakistan's strength because they can play at their pace. Anything beyond that is going to be tricky. But if England bats first and gets around 180, 90, it's going to be tough for Pakistan. All depends on whether Shaheen picks up early wickets or not.
Early
It's about
for Butler.
only couple of minutes left, Gopal.
Yeah, we have just got a couple of minutes, and as we wrap up this episode of Just Another Cricket Podcast with Shantan and Debankur, it's been a very sad evening, disappointing evening, and seeing the humiliating loss of India at the hands of England. But that's how this game goes on. We hope that India might do well in the next World Cup and in 2024. With that, we'll have one more episode
खत्म
of
करो T20 यार फटाफट 50 में आता है अभी एक साल में 50 ओवर्स
होगा,
वो है
but देखते हैं वो भी है, that is also there. But then with that we sign off, myself, Gopal, Shantan and Dibankur, and hoping that it is going to be a cracking final on Sunday with England and versus Pakistan. Thank you.
Best wishes to both the teams. Thank you so much.